What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Universim Season 4, the full release. So we have got a very exciting episode ahead of us today, starting off normal but not ending normal. Invasions come in, you can tell by the thumbnail I hope. Invasions come in and we get given our own giant spaceship, or planet destroyer, whatever you want to call it. So let's get cracking. At the beginning, you can see that we have the quest again, the spider quest. This is the common quest, and I always go for the same one. Number 2, they aren't hurting anyone. Send a team to study them. That loses us 40 food, but gives us 2 free researchers, and them 2 free researchers can be ones that are locked. So that's what I always go for. So back to where we are now, and we are in winter again, unfortunately. We nearly have enough points to skip it, but if you look at the top bar, you'll see that actually winter is almost over. Population-wise, 700, and we do have some buildings to go. Power is looking okay. Stored-wise, 900, yeah, that's fine. Water's going down, but it's winter, so that doesn't matter, and then all of the other resources are okay. Glass is a massive gate for us, as always, as are electronic components, and the favourite of everybody, steel beams. With the
rehab
research we just did, I've just put down the rehab centre.
I'm just not sure how effective it'll be for nuggets.
Now, normally you can only build one of these, right? Rehab or the prison, but with this research from that ability, it gives us the research centre, and we get both. Sorry, not research centre, rehabilitation centre. We get both. Now I'm going to pick up this rock, 'cause it will take them forever to do that manually. And then, of course, we'll get them building that. Just jumping over to a random desert in the middle of nowhere, and what's actually happening here is there is a huge amount of iron under the iron mine there in the bottom of the screen. It's about 4,000 all in just for that one mine to collect, and that is a very significant amount of ore. The mines around where the actual buildings are that we have are crap. The maximum was, I think, 400. So you can imagine this is 10 times that. 2 there. And I have put some guard towers next to them, defensive towers, because we are quite close to an exile. I thought they'd be okay, but there's a lot of people dying, travelling backwards and forwards from here. So that's why I've just dropped a cemetery in. And I'm going to put a few more things in and probably actually make this into an area. I can use it for iron processing or things like that where they're close to the mines. So that's where I'm at the minute. Normally my infrastructure is just the basics, but with them having to travel so far across the planet with nothing in between, there's just far too many nuggets rotting away. So I'm going to chuck some water in here as well because they keep drinking from that lake. You can see them doing it right now. And from that, I hope that they stay healthy. And as an example of what I was talking about, you can see that road there that's got absolutely nothing down, but is an extremely busy highway. There is a lot of traffic constantly going backwards and forwards. And in so, people are dying, corpses rotting, and then because the people are constantly passing it, they then get intoxicated too. When I've had it twice happen now where it's been a Highlander, you get a spam on the side where this person has infected that person, etc. So I'm putting one right in the middle. We've got one right at the end. There's another infected person here. We need just to get that. I could probably put a hospital over there, but I don't think that's going to solve the problem, because the problem isn't that people are getting ill. It's that the corpses aren't being collected, because most of them are just dying naturally and then rotting, and that's causing the problem. Right, so one tower's done, and I'm going to get some magic on that. You'll see that it is increasing the filtering water, but I did learn something new here, and I'm not sure if we knew this already, and if you did, congratulations, I didn't. But if you rain on a reservoir, the drinking water is a lot faster, which makes sense because it's cleaner than pulling the lake water. But you can see by putting that on top, accidentally going into the menu there, that the actual water tower's filtration is slightly faster, like so. And a little bit later on, I chucked down a couple more rain clouds, 2 in fact, on top there. Now they're all built. And if we go into that tower, look how fast that filtered water is processing. So that's interesting, and I know now I can use that. I mean, it is 40 creator points per rain cloud, but it's at least 5-6 times faster. Obviously, not with that knowledge in hand, you can see I'm going over and checking the main areas where I normally have problems, and lo and behold, everybody's fine because I've put down so many. So nobody's dying of thirst in the main city, which I think is the first time that's actually happened, and I've got enough reservoirs down. But of course, remember that using the dribble spell, the trickle spell, the rain spell, there we go, improves the process and efficiency of that. So back over to where we were just then, and I'm now going to put more infrastructure down here, and that is 3 or 4 farms specialising in herbs, likely because it's a desert after all, and you can only grow herbs in the desert. There is a graveyard still to build, and a few other resources and things I'd like to chuck in here, as well as the graveyard that's halfway down that road as well, to stop all of this infectedness going crazy. But what I'm actually going to do is just sit back and let it process, because we are being gated by resources again. Glass is a problem, and steel is a problem. Cement looks alright actually, and iron itself is good, so yeah. Glass is a problem at the minute, and there's a lot of upgrades happening, and I want to make sure, and the windmills as well. So let me just jump ahead a little bit and save you having to wait for that, and then we'll see where we're at and how it looks when we get there. Be right back. Okay, so it's only been about 10 days in game, and we come straight into this quest here, the artisanal artery clogging. Go cheap shoes, go healthy, and stick to the shoes and leave the food industry alone. Pretty sure I'll go for number 2. Which makes the nuggets eat more but live 10 years longer, and I'm happy with that, because the longer they live the better for me, because if they're getting an education, I want that education to last. So jumping over, actually we have got a 4th person to name, 4th nugget to name, as was requested in the comments. So the 4th one on our list is Blue Stick, and changing the name to Ricky Dem Boys. Mark them as a viewer and continue. Welcome to the team, and thank you for your support. Taking a look at the research here, and we're well in the way to modern age and pushing on to space age very soon. The discovery points aren't too bad either. Again, I still think that the exhibition process is easier than it was before, which is a good thing, because it was almost painful. Moving along here, only the top line matters. The bottom line does go to a dead end. You can see the lunar colony there is indeed space. There were about 6 or 7 researchers off the space age, but we are, again, way into the modern age. So arriving now at the expedition camp, as just mentioned, and we have upgraded it to level 2, so we can send 30 nuggets. Give them a crap ton of food and a few of the medicine flasks, and then drill them ports code and leave them to it. I'm not going to manhandle them or micromanage them like I was originally. It's a lot faster than it was, and it's a lot more forgiving than it was. Making sure to keep some creator points to heal the ones that make it fall encumbered, but other than that, I'm not too worried. And then we come back, and another cutscene, which I am loving this at the minute, though there is no sound to it, which is unfortunate. I would expect there is music to it, but of course I've had to turn that off due to constant copyright errors. So for us, there's no sound effects anyway. And you can see there are 3 giant motherships that are landing on the planet, and they've asked us to politely, and if you want to read all of this, you can pause it and do so, but they're asking politely for 3 nuggets to study. They won't cause us any harm. They won't do anything to the nuggets. They will return the nuggets when they are done, and it will help increase our relationship. All you can do is click OK, and then they thank you for saying OK, and they're going to take good care of the nuggets, and they're going to send in some UFOs to collect said nuggets. Now, I'm not going to lie, I panicked here. I'm used to seeing a UFO and wrecking it, so that is what I did. These are the UFOs coming in to take the 3 nuggets that they asked for. I didn't know that at this time. I'm an idiot. So there we go. I kill one and you'll pay for that treachery. And now I have activated the alien invasion attack in 10 minutes. This does get serious. I do lose quite a lot of nuggets. I would advise it only on the basis that you know what's coming. And if you watch this video, you shall. But for now, we'll carry on and hope that it's not too bad after the 10-minute mark. So with the timer ticking down, and we are of course in the middle of winter as per. Just been working on some upgrades. You can see there that the windmills in the background are upgraded too, and those as well. It is very painful in terms of resources, but we are getting there slowly but surely. We do have a lot of the buildings, the manufacturing buildings. So there is the income. It just doesn't look like much because they're instantly getting taken away to do other things. Now, I didn't know what to do on this first instance because I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting other ships, not UFOs. It turns out they attack with just the standard UFOs you are used to. And very shortly we will see the one that is attacking. You can see where it says alien attack, attacks left, 1 of 1. So the first wave they send... And you can see there I'm trying to electrocute the big ships, but it does nothing. So yeah, the first wave is 1 UFO. The second wave, I believe, is 3 UFOs. The third wave is 7 UFOs. And the fourth wave is Hell on Earth.
UFO seems to have taken offense to one of your buildings.
But Hell on Earth will come, we'll see it. But you have to see it to believe it.
UFO clearly isn't a fan of your architectural decisions.
And there's the one. So just knock him out with his laser beam trying to destroy my building. Problem solved. The clock resets. 10 minutes to go again. And we just have to move on and wait for that. The advantage to this, of course, is every UFO we kill, we get a mystery box, right? And I've got them stocking up there, so... I say stocking up, I meant stacking up, but it doesn't matter. Same difference. We'll open one up. All I'm doing here when I open these at the minute is making sure that there isn't the icon. So the special nuggets that we have, either you guys that are named with the hearts or Stephen Hawking with the brain. Rambo did die, unfortunately. He only made 39 years old because he wasn't a Highlander. So Rambo is a distant memory, so there is no pizza walking around. But as long as there's no icons there, I'm happy to just open a box, even if it's going to blow up. You can also scrap them and get just random resources. Usually it's iron or steel. And there is an achievement for doing that, so I would suggest you do it at least once and get the achievement. Because there are a lot of new achievements here. So yeah, if you are an achievement hunter... Just scrap one of your boxes and you will get an achievement for that. Invasion attack is still 8 minutes away. Just admiring the ships, and they have made a massive effort in this. Between the beta and this pre, there's a lot of changes, and there is a full storyline now as well. And these ships do look really, really cool. They don't seemingly do anything, they're just for visuals, it seems. The attacks come from the standard UFOs that come in from elsewhere. And I'm trying to close that, but you can see it just pops up again. It's annoying to look at. I was trying to get a thumbnail, I think, at that point for the thumbnail, obviously, but I think I did. But I also would like to get one of the last wave, because the last wave, like I say, is Hell on Earth. And here we go again. What looks like more graveyards, because you can see a gap there. And that gap does matter. There's also a walking tree over there. Still no reason or question or anything related to the walking trees. From the comments, I've seen people have had the walking trees, but as yet no one has had anything happen with the walking trees. While we're here, I've unlocked now 3 of the legendary buildings.
I have rarely seen
so we'll get them down, all in this same sort of area. Why not? It doesn't hurt, and they just add happiness, right? So it's not going to hurt anything. They don't do anything to the carbon dioxide, even though we've kept that really well situated. It's always -5, I think,
Every
at
now
least.
and then, something like this new wonder reminds me of your capabilities. Just don't let it go to your head.
The guy is awfully sarcastic. I mean, he makes a point, but he's
Now
sarcastic.
there's another gorgeous observer watching over your civilization. I'm talking about me and your new eye of the world, just to avoid any
And of course,
confusion.
it is nice that when you put down these newer buildings that you're used to putting down, and you have been for a while, that you get that interaction from him. So it's nice to have that. And again, these are some of the 600 extra phrases they put in, and it's just nice to hear them. Also, one thing I like is when you're putting down the forestry spell, what I've tried to do, and you can tell by what you're looking at now, there are trees in my city, because usually they wreck them all and then work their way out. So I'm building them. Now, they will keep knocking them down, and you have to keep planting them, but I think it looks a lot nicer when they're there. My concern, however, was that putting them down would make the roads look awful, but that's just the thing I've realised, is that it doesn't plant them on the roads. And it doesn't plant them on the main structure's grounds. So you can just go into the middle of the city and do a full 200-pointer forestation and get quite a nice looking city. They will continue to chop them down. So, and as far as I'm aware, there's no way to stop them. The same as there's no way to stop them walking to the other side of the planet and dying trying to get stone. I wish there was, but there isn't. If the developers ever listen to this, then that's a tip from me. We could do it like a max range that they're allowed to go from said area or something. Or if there's no resources, then you can direct them. So at least we can put an infrastructure in place that they just don't go walking thousands of miles for a couple of bricks that we clearly don't need, because we've got 3,500 brick. And actually, I'm not sure if I've done it yet, but one thing I do is I stop them. But let's just wait on that, because Attack 2 has happened, and as you can see, we've got 3 this time. I do find myself wandering around blind. I've got no idea of the logic behind the mechanics of it. I'm assuming one from each of the big ships makes sense, and it looks like that. Now, this area here is always attacked, as you just saw, and every time I shoot that down, because it's not moving, it lands on the building and kills, in that case, 3 nuggets. It killed 3 last time as well, so that's 6 nuggets I've lost just from that. I'm not aware of any better options though, and no matter what you do, if they crash, they will crash on the spot that they're on, because if they're not moving, they just fall straight down. But silver lining, free box. So while we was over to the barracks, the third wave that you see counting down, I do actually skip or miss on recording, unfortunately. But as I've said, it is 7. So it is 7 UFOs to destroy in total. Exactly the same as before, there's just 7 of them. So save your creator points for that. The 4th wave, we will see very shortly in the cutscene. But I'm just making sure I rip down those buildings, and instead I'm going to build 2 tanks and 1 helipad. And here we go at wave 4. So for reference, that is my definition of hell on earth. This thing is mean. Luckily, the guard towers, the defense towers are doing what they want, but look at the state of that. Just mother of God. Now, 2 things there. I tickled it with lightning and a lot of. Luckily, the towers were doing well, but there was no way they was going to bring that down quick enough. We've got a lot of fires here that I need to put out, so I'm going to get some trickle on them to get them out straight away. But crikey, 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 that was a boss, and quite a nice one to see at that. And the reward for all of this is this monster, the Planet Cracker, the Planet Destroyer, the Mini-Me. That's its nickname, Mini-Me. Anyway, so we know we have one of these parts on the planet already. We saw it at the very beginning, the Planet Battery. So there it is at the very top, item 1. So we need to go to 2 other planets now and get parts 2 and 3. Then I'm guessing we're allowed to destroy a planet, though what planet I have no idea. But we are at time, so thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, please click like. Any comments are welcome as always. Subscribe for more. Take care. Goodbye.